Okay, so let's like take a brief learning today. So this is a workshop which will be covering four major topics. These are very basic topics. So it's split between like two sessions. This is our today first session. So in the first session we'll be like learning how to install Kali Linux on your machine. What is Kali Linux? What is Linux in general? Why should you know about Linux? And then we'll be learning about ADP attacks, like how to execute a ADP shell attack on an Android phone, and how you can prevent yourself from such attacks. Right. So that's what you will be learning in the session one. And session two is rubber duck USB attacks and Wi-Fi man in the middle attacks. Okay, guys, I think we should start the workshop. Right? People will keep joining as we proceed. So our first topic is Kali Linux, right? So I would like to ask anybody here. Yeah, before starting the workshop itself, I would like to like introduce myself. So I'm Karthik Deshmukh. I'm a software engineer and a student also at Anurag University. I'm studying in like first year. I think most of you are from the same college then. So I'm the developer of Noobs website and Spot as well. So I started my journey with learning about hacking, installing Kali Linux. Then I moved towards IoT and stuff. Then I created some websites. Then I got into a little bit of crypto. So this is like when I came to college, I was not really a social person, right? So I wanted to create my own community. So that's the reason I have like created this Noobs community where you can like find like-minded people who want to develop software apps, who want to pursue their career in software engineering itself, right? So let's not bore you much. Let's just skip this and let's move towards like the workshop itself, right? So, how many of you here are aware about Linux in general, Linux or Kali Linux? Just raise your hands. It's an interactive session. You can also open your mic, guys. It's like just treat me as a friend, right? You can just open your mics, have a good interactive session. Okay, okay, that's good. Many of you like know what's Linux. Okay, so, can anyone like just open your mic and just tell what is about Linux, what is Linux, and give a little brief? Anyone, anyone, anyone wants to say anything? You can even say it in chat box if you're like if you don't want to say it in mic, or you can just say it in the chat box. Anyone? Okay, yeah, it's open source. Okay, good, nice. Anyone else? Any other point? It's open source. It's an open source project. In fact, Linux is the world's largest open source project, I would say. Anyone else? Anything about this? Anything about Linux? Anything you know? Come on, guys. You can. It's a type of OS. Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Actually, mic access is off. Okay. Okay. Just 1 minute. I'll just turn on the access. Right. Sorry. My bad. Okay. You can now turn on your mic, guys. You can just speak if you want to speak. Anyone wants to speak about what is Linux? Some points of it. Some brief. Okay. We can use it as dual put. Okay. We have a good audience today. I can see that. You guys already know stuff. Okay. That's nice for us. Okay. Anyone else? You can even turn on your microphone and we can have an interactive chat on this. Yeah, someone turn on the mic. Anyone wants to talk about Linux? Or you can just keep on like chat. You can just give the answers in the chat feed. It's totally up on you. Okay, so Linux is an open source project. Yeah, you're right. It's a large project. So the name Linux itself came from its developer Linus Torvald, right? So Linus Torvald actually he was fed up of an operating system, and then summer holidays he just decided to write his own operating system. So yeah, that's the thing. So anyone else like who wants to add points to this thing? Anyone in chat box? People are joining. Okay. So there's all a big misconception I would say that Linux is an operating. Linux is actually not an operating system. It's actually a kernel. So when Linus Torvald started this project, he started it as a kernel. Kernel is actually, I would say the 90% of an operating system. What is kernel? Kernel is nothing but it gives you like the uh, it's a software which allows other software pieces to interact with the hardware of the machine, right? So that's the kernel. So Linux is a kernel essentially, and the operating system, the name of the operating system which is based on Linux is GNU Linux. So whenever you say Linux operating system, it's actually wrong. It's not the operating system; it's the Linux kernel, and you call GNU Linux operating system. So it's a complete. When you have to refer the operating system as complete, you have to say GNU Linux. That's the complete operating system. What is GNU? GNU is nothing but it like provides a bunch of packages which work on top of Linux. So that's like a brief overview of Linux. So Linux is a kernel, as I said. So on top of Linux, we have several distros, right? So we have the Debian distro, we have the Red Hat OS, we have Ubuntu, which is a commercial operating system in the market, right? So there are like so many operating systems that have been made on top of Linux. Now you might say like why Linux have why whenever like a company makes an operating system, why do they choose Linux, right? So the main reason they choose Linux is that it like boils down to the cost. You can't really like make your own kernel without spending millions of dollars, right? So because Linux is an largest open source project and it's like trusted worldwide, even corporations use Linux these days. So that is a brief about Linux. Linux is also used like it's the most popular operating system among like your servers, and even the Android phones which you run also run on a like different flavor of Linux, I would say. And even the MacBook OS is also Unix. It's derived that operating system is also derived from Unix, right? So that's the thing. So okay, that's Linux now. Then how many people do know about like Kali Linux? What is Kali Linux? How many people are aware about Kali Linux? Just raise your hand, and if you know anything about Kali Linux, you can say in the box, right? Or you can just turn on your mic and speak. Anyone? You guys like already know a lot of things. You might be aware of Kali Linux. Huh? You can just say,
So it is especially designed for cybersecurity, basically Kali Linux.
yeah, yeah, very good. Who was that? Jaya Bhargav, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I would say like everyone to give a round of applause for Jaya Bhargav. Really good that you are coming up and speaking up, right? So yeah, Jai Bhargav, you are like totally right. It's a operating system for cybersecurity. Anyone else who wants to like add up on this thing? Anyone?
We can perform attacks in Kali Linux.
Okay. Yeah, you can perform different types of cybersecurity attacks. That's totally right. Anyone else? Anyone? You can just speak, guys. It's an interactive session, or you can just like type the answers in the chat box.
We can completely customize the
Mm-hmm.
thing we are doing, like in Kali Linux. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are actually right. So the coming to Linux, right? It's totally customizable. It gives you more customization options compared to Windows. You're totally right. Anyone else who wants to like add up on this? Anyone recognize that you're like
In Linux, there are so many tools
hmm?
to perform attacks.
Okay, yeah, you're totally right. That's actually why Kali Linux is used among cybersecurity professionals. It
It
has
provide more tools actually.
Yeah, exactly. So it has a repository of many tools that is essential for cybersecurity professionals and pen testers. Anyone else? It's really nice that you're answering and interacting. Anyone else? This can be a really nice interaction, and you can learn a lot from this. Anyone who wants to add up on this thing? I see Anand Reddy has said we can use this for testing and security research. Yeah, it works faster than Windows. Yeah, you're totally right. It's generally used for pen testing and security research. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Linux is generally faster than Windows. I would say a quick hack. If you have any old laptop, right, and it works really slow, so what you can do, install Linux on it, and you'll see that the laptop has gone like crazy fast. So Linux is generally very faster than Windows. Okay, we see Modi Hamdan. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Okay, he says Kali Linux is like a digital superhero. Okay, that comes with utility belt full of tools to help you conquer the world of. Okay, that can be a really nice line. Okay, yeah.
So whenever we are working with an app or developing an app, like
Uh,
basically we do it on the Linux first, and then we test it around multiple operating system, multiple platforms. Like so,
okay. Yeah, actually, you are right. Many developers do use Linux as their main operating system. Actually, even I am attending this meeting on Linux. The reason we use Linux is that Linux it comes boils down to effectiveness. Okay, so if you want to like install any tools on Windows, right? First you have to go through searching that tool name on the search engine, then downloading it, and as you go through that process, you'll face multiple links that will misguide you. But but like suppose you want to install Firefox on your system. It in Linux you can just type one command and the application gets installed on your system. There's no searching the tool name on the search engine, then going through the manipulative links, and then going through all that hassle. It's just one command. That's the reason many developers use Linux. Okay. Anyone else? You people already know a lot of things. Anyone else who wants to like add up can be a hero here by giving the answers. Know that you are a hacker already. Come on.
Hackers basically use Linux basically like than Windows. Like Linux is used by hackers. Um, it may be for like security purpose, and it may be for like pushing the malware into the servers or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, hackers do use Linux, and it's the same thing. Like Linux gives you a lot of customizable options, and it's also secured compared to Windows. The reason it's secured is that uh, the people, most of the like majority of people use Windows. So the people create malwares and all, they create malwares for Windows, right? They do not create malwares for Linux operating systems. That's the reason Linux is kind of secure. It's also the same thing for like Mac OS. Okay, can Kali Linux be used by beginners or it is only for you? Okay, yeah, Kali Linux can be used by beginners as well. I would say like when I started my journey, I installed Kali Linux first, and then I learned about like different types of attacks and hacking. I learned about networking as well. So I would say like if you have a Linux system, right, it doesn't matter Kali Linux or Ubuntu or any other distro, Debian distro, if you have it, it will be really easy to learn things like networking and all. Okay, okay. It's really good that you guys are giving answers. So, Kali Linux, as you said, we have already discussed it right now in the interactive session. That it's a tool operating system for pen testers. So it gives you a it's a repository of pre-installed tools, right? That's the reason even if you go to like download the Kali Linux operating system, it's like 4 GB. So it's a much larger ISO image because it's the reason is that it has a lot of tools. So some of the tools which you might be using is Nmap, then ARP, Spoiler, then you have more tools like so Set Toolkit, which social engineering attacks for which it's used. So that's about Kali Linux, right? So I would like to know how many people here have joined in with a laptop, so we can really guide you with how the process to install the Kali Linux on your machine. Okay, okay, yeah, that's good. So many people here, I see you have joined in with uh, your laptops. Okay, so what I'll do is uh, we'll just show you how you can install Kali Linux on your system so that you really get started with this thing. And I really want you to, because you guys already know so much, you shouldn't waste your time and just learn about hacking in Kali Linux. So I'll just say you how to download Kali Linux. So what you can do is I'll just send you a link in the. So I want you to download the Kali Linux image for the virtual box, right? So everyone who has a laptop can go to this link, and then you can just scroll down a little bit. So once you go to that link, right, you'll see a button for you'll see a card basically for which says virtual machines. Just click on that card, and then it will automatically scroll down. So is everybody on that step? Anything good? Any problem?
Are you recording this session?
Yes, this session is recorded and
Okay.
it will be available on our Noobs website. Everyone, have you done that step? Any
It's
problems?
like virtual machine, right? Virtual machine.
Yeah, it's a virtual machine. Actually, if you want a dual boot setup, even that is possible. If you guys like want a dual boot setup, we'll post a, separate video for that, which will guide you through how to do a dual boot setup. But to keep things simple for now, we'll just do a virtual machine install, right? So, have you guys like opened the link? Is there any problem? Just let me know. Like, are the steps clear and all? You have to click on the virtual machines card, and it will automatically scroll down. Else, I will just send you this link. 1 minute. Yeah. Or else you can just click on this link, guys. It will automatically start downloading the image. Have you clicked on that link? Whoever has a laptop, just download that.
Yeah, yeah, got it, got it.
Yeah, you'll need like also one more thing I would like to mention is that you will need at least I think 8 to 9 gigabits of storage free on your laptop to do this. So once you have like downloaded that, I would like to install. I'd like you to like install this tool which is called VirtualBox. So I'll just send a direct link for this also. Yeah, it's 2 point. Just 1 minute. Just let me have a check again. Yeah, it's 2.7 gigabytes. Yeah, it's 2.7 GB. And I'm assuming like everyone here has a Windows laptop. So if you have a Windows laptop, you can download the VirtualBox application from the link that I have just sent. So you have two links. The first one is the Kali Linux image, and the second one is the VirtualBox tool. I have provided direct link. If you click on that link, the download gets started automatically. Okay. So once that is done, just let me know, guys. The download may take a little bit of time. So till then, we can see the hack and the process, and I'll guide you through all the installation and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, it's taking around 15 minutes. If you're having a higher bandwidth of internet connection also, it's taking around 15 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Yeah, till then we can do. I can show you the process of the hacking and all. You can just keep the download in the background. I just want to make sure like everyone who has a laptop has clicked on those links and started the downloading. So have you done that steps? If you have done the steps, you can just raise your hands so that we have a clear. Okay, okay. If anyone is facing any problem in downloading it, you can just send a message in the chat box and we'll guide you through the process. Anyone is facing any problem? Have you started the download, guys? Just raise your hand if you have. Okay. Okay. So I am just assuming like everyone has started the download, whoever has a laptop. So we'll just move to like the attack itself. So for the installation of Kali Linux, it's like three steps. I would say it boils down to three simple steps. You have to just download the both the image of Kali Linux image and the VirtualBox tool, and then you have to like install the VirtualBox tool. And once you do that, you can just click on the image, the Kali Linux image that you have downloaded, and I mean the Kali Linux machine starts up automatically. We'll like guide you through the process as well. We'll just till then as the files are downloading on your systems, we can just see the attack, the demonstration of the attack. So just go on to the next slide. So it's called Android ADB rat attack. So there's a lot of words here. First of all, I would like ask, do you know what is Android? Obviously, most of you might know what is it, but like still, are you aware about like what is Android? Anyone can say the answers in the chat box. Anyone? Anyone? Come on. You know what is Android, right? Come on, give answers in the chat box. Okay, so Android is nothing but it's an operating system for Android phones. It's developed by Google, and it's also I would not say open source, but it's kind of open source. It's free to use. Yeah, it's a popular operating system for all the mobile phones. Yeah, so mostly all phones like Samsung, Redmi, and all they use Android, right? So it's yeah, everybody knows it. So what you can just 1 minute, guys. I'll just join my phone with this got disconnected so that I can show you the demonstration. So how many of you are like into app development here? Anyone into app development? Anyone? You can just raise up. Okay, Sushant. Okay, Sushant is there. Okay, Anis Rika is there. Okay, that's good. So are you guys aware of the tool called ADB? ADB tool. Anyone who can like give me the at least the full form of the tool? Anyone?
Um,
Okay.
ADB is like Android debug bridge, which is a, command tool used to communicate with the device. Basically, if it is a if you're writing a code, actually we need the ADB command line. Yeah. So
Okay. Okay, again it was Java Bhargav, right? Okay, you guys really know a lot of things. That actually what ADB tool is, right? ADB tool is nothing but it's a command line tool which allows developers. It's actually used among developers, right? It allows developers to see all the logs of the system, of the phone, and it also allows developers to control, have a like basic control on the device while they are like testing or debugging. I would say their Android app. Anyone who wants to like add up on this? Anyone? You can just give any point on this. Anything? If you are an app developer, you might be aware of this.
first, basically, to communicate with the device, we need to authenticate the computer from the mobile, like using the developer options from the developer tools. We need to, like, turn on the Android developing debugging tool. Like, there's a tool called in it, so I don't have an idea, but that's basic step, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you are totally right, bro. It's like you're totally right on the point. So it's like a tool which helps developers to for debugging. So how many of you know what is debugging? Debugging is nothing but it helps you to find bugs in your application. So if you are developing an Android app and your Android app is stuck somewhere and you want to see what's the problem, so ADB tool is what you will use there, right? ADB tool gives you the access to the active logs of the Android phone, right? So what are logs? Anyone who can like brief on what is logging, system logging? Anyone?
Real time, what do you say, monitoring.
Okay, very good. Yeah, it's real time monitoring. I would say it gives like what are the events going on. It's like a text. In text it just says what all the events are going on the Android phone, right? So if you like open an app or you just touch on the screen, that gets recorded as an event, and that's basically called logging, system logging, right? So ADB tool is nothing. It just gives you the access to all the active logs of the system. Okay, so right now we are using that tool. So how many? There's another word called rat here. So how many of you here can give me a full form of what is rat and explain that too? If you are able to do that, then you are really into hacking, I would say. Anyone? Anyone who can say what is rat?
It's a administrative tool, I guess, some administrative tool or something.
Rapid
Yeah.
antigen test.
No, bro, no. It's not that. Okay. So
Um,
yeah, you can try. So basically, what rat? Yeah,
yeah,
Jabbar.
remotely we can, like we would say, administrate like something. A remote administration tool, I guess. I guess.
Yeah. You're correct. So, RAT stands for Remote Access Tool. It gives you remote access over any device. These tools are basically used for by attackers. Like if they want to monitor any Android phone, any victim's phone, these tools were right now Android has good amount of security, I would say, against this such kind of tools. But like people are still coming up with different kinds of tools, different kinds of payloads, I would say, which can bypass such securities. So right now I would say we won't be making a payload as such, but I would show you how you can use ADB tool itself as a RAT, right? So RAT is nothing but it just gives you the backdoor access, I would say, to Android device. What does backdoor access mean? It gives you the access when even when the phone is closed, and you can have a persistent payload. Now, what is persistence is like if the phone get disconnected to the Android device, you can just like keep a persistent script. Now this persistent script can get triggered anytime. So for suppose if you call the victim, the persistent script can get triggered and then the connection can be established with the attacker. So that's the thing with the rats. We'll be doing a separate system on rats. Do files download successfully. Okay, that's great. We'll come to that process as well soon when we finish this thing. Okay, so that's the thing with rats, right? It allows you to like control these devices from any part of the world basically because it runs over internet. So I'll just show you how you can use ADB as a remote access tool. So I think you must be aware like ADB requires a USB cable, but I will also show you another method in which you can connect ADB wirelessly. I think you might be aware of it if app development and all, but I'll just show you that itself. Okay, so I'll just share my screen of my other laptop. Just give me a second. Okay, just tell me if the screen is visible, guys. Is the screen visible?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Okay, very nice. Okay, so I'll just so once you install Kali Linux, right? I'll just guide you on that process as well. So once you install Kali Linux, after that you have to you basically use two tools in your terminal. So one first tool is obviously ADB, right? And the second tool which you are is also a little bit popular, I would say, is Scriptsy. Scriptsy allows you to like screen share and monitor the screen of the device. So the command name is scrcpy. I'm just in the help tab here of Scriptsy. The server. So okay, people are joining. Just a second. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll turn on the camera of my another phone. I'll show you here. Just a second. So are you guys able to see my phone here? Is it visible in the camera? Yeah.
Yeah, it is visible, but having some blurry issues. Blur,
Okay.
it's too blur.
Okay. I'll just wipe off my camera. Just give me a second. Okay. I think it's because of the focus. Yeah. So what I've done is I've connected my phone with the laptop via USB. So you need to do this to access the ADB shell on your terminal, right? So what I'll do on my terminal is first I'll just make sure that the cable is connected, right? So I'll just connect this cable to my laptop, and once it's connected, it will just ask me if I want to do file share and all. You can just like ignore this, and then what you can do is on the terminal you can type ADB devices. So ADB is the command name, and this devices is the argument. So in Linux we have a command name, and corresponding to it we give arguments, right? So that's the thing. So right now it will just look for devices, and as you can see here, our device, it has detected our device which we have connected via USB. So this is our device. So what I'll do right now is I'll type ADB TCP/IP 555. So what this command actually does is it starts a TCP server on my Android phone at port 555. Now this 555 is something which you can give anything, like you can give your like 6969 or 8080. It's like totally dependent on you. You can give anything you want. So for like keeping it simple, we'll just keep 555. So as you type this command, right, it will just I'll just make sure that the device is connected. Okay. So you can just type this command and it will start the TCP server. Okay. So yeah. So right now if you see it has started the TCP server at this port. Okay. So what I can do now is you can just type ADB ADB. I'll just remove the USB now. We don't need the USB any longer, and you can type ADB connect, and then you have to type the IP address of the device. Now, finding the IP address of the Android phone which is connected to the network is little bit tricky, I would say. Now, there are a couple of tools that I recommend. One is this Angry IP Scanner, which is like very popular among hackers. Even in Kali Linux, it's like it comes pre-installed, so you can just scan the whole network, all the network, the Wi-Fi network which you are connected to. So once you scan that, you'll just get the IP address here of our device. So you can see it has kind of scanned 5 hosts and yeah, it has kind of scanned 5 hosts. So I had done the scan already. So already know the IP address of the device. So it's 192.168.29.224 is what I believe, and the port number is 555. If you are like getting a little confused, is totally okay. Okay, you can ask questions if you want in the middle. If anybody has any questions, you can ask it. Anyone? If you have questions, you can just type in the chat box. So I'll just type this command now. Uh, the command is so that's the command. You'll just connecting to the device, and once you're connected, once you type the command, it's see. So we have connected to the device successfully. Now you won't see any changes on the device, right? You won't get any notifications or anything. But on my terminal right now, what I can do is I can just type ADB shell. Yeah. I can just type ADB shell, and what this does is it opens up a shell, TCP shell on the device, and now through this shell I can basically do anything. And by anything I mean I can delete files on the system, I can download files on the system, I can turn on the camera, I can take photos, videos, record microphone, voice, and then I can maybe install malicious applications, I can download certain files. So you get the idea, right? You can do anything. So right now what I'll do is I'll just list out the files. So if you like in the class in first semester they taught us a little bit about Linux. So you are maybe probably already familiar with this command, that is ls. Ls stands for list. It just lists all the files and directories in a in a folder. So these are the directories and these are all the files on my Android phone. And I can just like uh, see what all files are there. I can go to storage, I can go to SD card storage, and I can access all those files, and I can also download or delete them. So basically, right now, you can say I own the system, right? So that's the thing. You can uh, do anything. So if you have a little bit idea in hacking, you know that the general storage path in Android devices is emulated, storage, emulated, and then zero. So I'll just go through that path now. Emulated and then zero. That's the folder. So in this path is where all your files lie, all your downloads, all your documents, all your WhatsApp images, camera. So if I list here now, you can see everything, all my files are displayed here. So I can just go to this WhatsApp folder. I can download everything. And while I'm doing this, I have no physical connection to the device. Right now, if you see, I'll just show you this. This USB is not connected to the computer. This is happening. Everything is happening over the Wi-Fi. So you have no physical connection to the computer. Okay. So that's about the hack. Now what we'll do is we'll just try to monitor the screen as well. Right. So the command for that, so as I said, to monitor the screen, we use a different tool, that is scrcpy. That's the tool we are using for monitoring our screen. Okay. So what I'll do is you can, so as I said, like we have already opened a TCP server on our system. So you can just type the command, that is script C, and then what you're typing after this is the argument, right? So in the argument, you are just giving the IP address and the port of the device. So as you know, the IP address of the device is 192.168.29.224, and the port is 5555. Okay, so right now it will just show error because on my system the ADB tool is actually of a older version. So if I do old ADB version, actually a older version, right? So what I'll do is I'll just connect it with the USB, and then I'll show you the demo. 1 minute. I'll just make sure that the device is connected. A second. Just a second. I'll just connect it with my USB device. Okay. For some reason it's not showing up. Just give me 5 minutes. What you can basically do with this, yeah, it showed up. So basically what you can do with this tool is you can just screen share and also control the device over Wi-Fi itself. So because right now my ADB tool is of an older version, I'll just use this via USB. So I'll just run this command right now. Yeah. So if you see on my laptop right now, uh, display has been opened and I can control the device from here itself. And if you see on the phone also, like the changes are reflected. And now if I use my phone also, the changes get reflected. You can like monitor this there. That's the thing. So this is like this attack doesn't need installation of any external third-party app. You can just do it via ADB shell. So that's the thing which is most scary about this thing, this attack, right? So I'll just stop the screen share right now. I mean like the attack. So that's the basic attack. So you learn two things right now. How we can, yeah, someone has asked something. Will the phone user know that you are monitoring him or her? No, the phone user doesn't know anything. I'll just show you the notification bar also itself. Now what they're doing is like in some phones, they are saying that the USB debugging is on, but this option will only show up if you have connected the phone to the computer with the USB cable. If you do it over the Wi-Fi, it won't show any notifications or any pop-ups as well. So that's the reason this attack is very like dangerous, I would say. Can we also unlock the phone? Yeah, I'll show you that also real quick. If you know you can also like see what is the password. So that is also very useful. Good that you asked. I'll just show. So sorry. So I'll just close my phone here and you can see on the screen. So if I, yeah, so once you like monitor the phone, you can just see the password as well as the user is putting the password. If he has a pattern unlock or a pin unlock, you can just see what pin or what is the pin or the pattern. But if he has a fingerprint, then you might like struggle a bit. That's the thing. Anyone has any questions?
Yeah, actually, this is done. Actually, are doing with the USB cable connected, right? So, with the Wi-Fi, is there any like the monitoring, like your now screen monitoring, right? You can control the screen, right? Is there any option like if it is connected through Wi-Fi, will the user like he can't like he can just see like whenever you take the phone and you can just identify that someone is without like, touching it or without handling it, there will be some movement on screen, right? So will the user like how to like turn off the screen of the device and use it like use it? Is there
Okay,
any option for that?
I get you. I get you. So you're saying your question is when I mean the device is off, how can we access it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Not
Ah,
not off, like not off really.
yeah,
Whenever it's connected to the yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
when not switched on, when it's only locked, right? That's your question. So what you can
Um,
do is, it also once you make any movement on the attacker's end, the screen turns on, and then you can just put the like pattern, and then do anything you want with the phone.
No, no, no. I'm just asking like through Wi-Fi. There's someone if someone some hacker is like accessing a mobile and the user he was like looking at the screen and something is happening with the screen, so he'll get to know. So without getting the user without getting him, can the hacker access the complete mobile with turning off the screen, like where user can't look at this whenever he looks at the screen. Yeah, it's in a locked position. Like my he can he'll be thinking that, oh, my mobile is in a normal state,
Yeah.
nothing is happening with the mobile,
Okay,
so
now
that's
I got you. Okay, now I got you. So that's what ADB shell allows you to do. With ADB shell, you can click photos, you can record microphones, sorry, the voice. You can record videos as well. You can download the files and all. And this phone can still be logged in the log state, and the user won't know anything. He won't get any notification or any alert as such.
no, no, no. Actually, my question is like, will the mobile can the hacker can use the mobile like the user like at the user end the user should see the mobile if it is a blank position and at the hacker end he can do anything. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so we can do a little jugaad, I would say. What you can do is you can just turn the screen brightness to zero. So the phone, if it's in like if it's daytime, the phone looks switched off. But like turn the brightness low, it won't reflect on your attacker screen. It will still show full brightness.
Yeah, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
But nowadays, these mobiles which are coming in the, some Android phones, like these days, the Android phones, like whenever we put the brightness in the low position, also, like we can just see the content, right? So I'm just asking, like, if the user can, like, the hacker can completely turn off the screen at the user side, and he can do it, like, he can, whatever he want, he can do it, like as you said. I'm asking that one, right?
yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? That's very much possible with the
Okay,
this rat attack tool. Yeah, it's possible with the ADB shell
okay, yeah,
as, and you can do that little type of hack also, which I said.
okay, okay. Thank you, Karthik. Yeah.
And in the coming sessions as well. So this was like very little small demo. Even like it's the script C tool which I said you. It's a kind of attack which script kiddies use. So it's not like really something hacker thing which you can say, but like it's still good to get started with. So that's the thing. In the coming sessions, we'll be doing the sessions on social engineering attacks where I'll be teaching you phishing, and then we'll be doing sessions on rat where you'll be creating customized payloads for the victims and many more attacks. You can also suggest us some attacks which you want to learn any tricks which you want to learn, we can keep sessions on that.
Um,
Could you share the meeting? I mean, yeah, sure. The recording will be shared uh, on our Noobs website. It will be available. I'll send the details on the Noobs group.
yeah. Is there any like Discord server to join?
Yeah,
Uh,
sure. We have the Discord server as well. I'll send the links today of all our like groups. We have a group in like Telegram. We have group in Discord. So you can connect us on every site. I'll
Okay,
send the
so
links.
actually, I have a question. Like,
Yeah, sure.
is there any like, we have tested, like, you have tested the hacking via Wi-Fi and with wire, right? Like with wired connection, right? So, is there any other way that hacker can access the complete user mobile, like with mobile data? Like, if the user doesn't have a Wi-Fi or a USB, like some people like we can see in the stations or somewhere in the like railway stations or some metro stations, the people doesn't connect to well, like we have been looking at the cyber attacks going on in the society, right? So everyone are using their own private mobile data. So is there any chance we can debug the mobile, connecting it to the ADB with the ADB tool, and we can do it? Is there any option for that, or only with the Wi-Fi and LAN connection or direct connection?
Yeah, very good question. It's like very much possible. What you can do is you can use a trick called port forwarding. So if you are, I think you're aware of it, right? Are you not? Or like you are? If you are not, like we'll have some sessions in future also on basic sessions where you'll be made aware of this basic topics of hacking. So what you can do is you can just use a tool which allows you to port forward connections over the internet. So a popular tool would be ngrok, which most of the hackers use these days. So
Okay,
that's
so port forwarding is like changing the port ID and connecting, like
no,
making
no,
it
no.
same
See,
ID, right?
yeah,
Okay,
see.
okay.
So to make these devices secure on the internet, what these people do is they block the inbound connections. So what these port forwarding tools do is they just allow us to bypass this block, and then our device ports can be available on the internet as well. Like you won't understand if I say it in words, but in like coming sessions, we'll show you a live demonstration where you'll be like able to understand these topics more like properly.
Okay, okay, Karthik. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. Anyone here? Anybody else? Like any questions? So what I'm thinking right now is it's like little late, and people are saying that we'll have another session tomorrow or like day after tomorrow, where I can tell you how to install Kali Linux. So you people can like download the file. Some people have still not able to download the file, so I'll send the links in the WhatsApp group again. So what we'll do is in the next session we'll again like have a refresh on these two topics, and I'll be telling you how to install Kali Linux on your system. So till then I'll send you the links in the WhatsApp group, and you can download these two files and be ready with it. So we'll have, okay, what if the mobile is switched off when we are monitoring? If the mobile gets switched off, the connection gets disconnected. But like if you have a persistent rat, you can establish a connection again. So if
So
we,
now, actually nowadays people like they are putting their mobile phone connected with the mobile data, right?
yeah,
So maximum like people don't connect their mobiles to the Wi-Fi, right? Like in the metro station, in the public places, right?
uh,
So as you said, we can use port forwarding, and we can avoid unwanted traffic, and we can just port, like change the port code, and we can do it, right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
right, right, okay.
So I would say, so we'll end this now, and I would request you all to like share our work, share the meeting next time. Next time we would like to have more people with us on the session. So share about Noobs learning to everyone. Tell them, tell about our courses, about our resources, about our community to your friends as well, so that even they can join and we can learn collectively, right?
Yeah,
So
can you just share the Discord links, Telegram links into our WhatsApp group? Like we have the WhatsApp group, like Noobs and
yeah,
something.
today itself I'll send all the social links that we have, so you can send it to your friends so that they can connect us over our groups, right?
Oh, okay, okay, thank you. And the Discord group, is it working actively? Like, are the members working actively? Like sharing the links in the Discord? Like some of them use Discord much. Like I use much Discord. So is
If
that
if you want updates on Discord, we'll also post updates on Discord. There's no issue on that. We'll be posting all our updates on all our like portals, Telegram, Discord, WhatsApp, everywhere, right?
thank
So
you, thank you.
no issue on that. Yeah. So thanks a lot for like joining the session. Thanks a lot for like taking out the time and really making an effort to like learn some new skill. I would end this session right now. Okay. So
फ्लेक्स नहीं है लाइफ है ब्रो, 0.8 मिली मेरे माइक पे ब्रो, आते नहीं है कोडू मेरी हाइट पे ब्रो, बिला वजह चुतियों को हाइप नहीं दो, खतरनाक खताकार अमल लाए मकाफात, कम अकल करें फसादात, पर मैं जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद, तू ज़ेरे ज़मीन हम तेरे पे ज़बर हैं, हम अबर हैं वो जो अब आए हैं, जाने नहीं वाले अब यहाँ से कबर है, हर ख्वाब से बड़ा था फैसला, हर फैसले से बड़ा सबर है, एक हाथ की मारी उर्दू रैप, मुझे इसी बात का तो फख्र है, अबे तेरे में कौन सी अकड़ है, अबे तेरे तो गाने भी याद नहीं किसी को, You ain't fit for this life, ना mental ना physical, celebrity status so keep that shit brief, मिलते नहीं हर किसी को, city to city मैं shows बजाऊं, मैं weekends पे busy हूँ, I got people around to tell your bitch ass पीछे हो, तो पीछे हो पीछे हो, पीछे हो पीछे हो, मैं और जूना chicken marijuana off a pipe, the purple's medical, मैं और तू नहीं in the same league, मेरे लिए a milli is minimum, rappers खार खाएं, mass murder line them up all and I'm killing them son, फ्लेक्स नहीं है लाइफ है ब्रो, 0.8 मिली मेरे माइक पे ब्रो, आते नहीं है कोडू मेरी हाइट पे ब्रो, बिला वजह चूतियों को हाइप नहीं दो, फ्लेक्स नहीं है लाइफ है ब्रो, 0.8 मिली मेरे माइक पे ब्रो, आते नहीं है कोडू मेरी हाइट पे ब्रो, बिला वजह चूतियों को हाइप नहीं दो।